Hey there, Heather, ho there. It's Jeff Cudderdabe. Welcome you to another Degrassiism. And this Degrassiism has to do with one episode wonders in Degrassi history. And a lot of people are thinking, well, were there any great Degrassi characters that were only appearing, one time appearances and all that? Guest stars don't count, characters and all that. I did try to make a Reddit post a while ago, and this was 17 days ago, and this is being taped on August 26, 2023 for context. It says, greatest one episode wonder from Degrassi next gen to next class thread. I said, I think Frieza in season 2's Don't Believe the Hype is my one episode wonder because of her being part of the main plot with Hazel and her Somalian heritage, and Frieza's Iraqi project being targeted. Because when the episode aired in Canada for the first time, it was 15 months after 9/11 and sparked some conversations. I did a C duel on the episode. Because I think it was number 186 when I did my unpopular opinion about Don't Believe the Hype was the most underrated episode in Degrassi history. And then I asked if there was any other one episode characters. And I might do a poll. Now, I did get a couple of suggestions, but only a couple of suggestions. One was Serena, the girl that read Alex to filth, because in season 6, when Alex went back to Degrassi to upper grades to become a massage therapist, she bumps into Serena, who Alex bullied and all that, and yelled at Alex for her bad girl reputation and all that. Now, of course, a lot of people crap on Alex because of the whole situation with she should have been in trouble with the Paint and Feathers because she was the one who had given Jay and Spinner access to make the Paint and Feathers work. Of course, she doesn't get blamed. Jay and Spinner keep their mouths shut about the situation. Spinner, I think, does not blame Alex because A, he doesn't want Alex to get in trouble, and B, because the whole shooting situation, I mean, he knew that he and Jay led Rick to believe that Jimmy was behind everything, and Rick shot Jimmy, and then Rick went after Emma. And that's why Spinner felt the guilt and didn't think Alex deserved it and all that. Although he did say the Paint and Feathers was his plan and Jay's. Like, they dumped it, but they didn't say how Alex got access to everything. It's strange how people didn't realize about the Paint and Feathers. Like, they didn't clue in that there was a next person, but they figured that Alex and maybe Jay and Spinner found a way up the thing. Anyway, so Frieza to me is a one episode wonder, but someone put 75 Mailer said Mr. and Mrs. Cameron, Sean's long unseen parents. That's right. So speaking of the whole season 4 fiasco with Time Stand Still, that's where we have it. So it's Back in Black, the episode after Rick does what he does. Sean relishes being a hero and all that for saving Emma and Toby from being attacked by Rick and all that. He's a hero. He gets in the newspapers and he's happy. Unfortunately, Sean is hiding stuff. Simpson and Solveig want him to talk about the situation. Emma then confronts Sean and hugs him and says, thank you for saving my life and all that. And then Sean is talked to by Rachel, the nosy reporter, co-worker from Caitlin's TV thing, who kind of presses the issue. And a few people like You've Got Cat also said that Rachel was being pushy about it. And then Rachel said that she interviewed Sean's parents about how he was. And then, they talk about how Sean was an abrasive kid, but, he did what he could. Sean is upset by this interview and trashes the equipment because his parents basically made him move to Toronto. So he decides to go to Wasaga Beach to confront his parents and takes Jay, Emma, and oh my gosh, why am I blanking on her name? Oh, Ellie. Yeah, why am I blanking on her name so fast? Anyhow, so they go to Wasaga. They have fun and all that. Now, they were allowed to go to Wasaga in a sense because the Monday was a reflection for grief counselors and no classes. So technically, they couldn't get in trouble. So they go do the thing. they go on saga, and Sean confronts his parents, yells at him, and all that, and leaves unresolved. And then they find Tyler, the boy that Sean supposedly deafened, and all that, working at the surf shop and all that. It's like, working at the surf shop. This is October. Why would he be working there? And then Tyler says Sean's a hit and run artist because he hit him, deafened him, and then ran to Toronto. All that. Of course, Tyler doesn't know the whole story, that it was Sean's parents that sent him to Toronto, not his. Not Sean's decision to flee for Toronto and all that. Sean, of course, has that thing with the jet ski. Sean tries to not open up to Ellie, but after nearly losing his life and Tyler saving him, he decides to open up to Ellie. And he opens up to his parents. He goes back to his parents' trailer and basically says, I'm sorry for what I did and all that. And I may have killed that kid because he was going to shoot my friend. Showing that Sean actually had feelings towards Emma. But the fact of the matter was that, you know, he thinks he killed him and he's worried about it. I think Sean, in a sense, is kind of worried about repercussions he might face after Rick's death and all that. So he decides to stay in Wasaga Beach to mend things with his parents, leaving Ellie and Emma, for a fact, high and dry. So basically, Ellie and Emma are not too pleased with everything, I think. So regardless of that, you know, it was great. It was great to see Sean's parents. The mother was played by veteran Canadian actor Jane Eastwood. If you know her work, well, I'm a little biased because, you know, I'm Canadian myself. Jane Eastwood was in that famous Going Down the Road show in 1972, which was a Canadian cultural hit. And Going Down the Road actually was an episode title in season 4 with the whole Kevin Smith fiasco. So anyway, yeah, she was in Naughty. She was in many other shows. She was in Riverdale, not the CW show, but Riverdale. There's a Riverdale neighborhood in Toronto, and they decided to do a soap opera in Canada, which had some names like the guy who was Max on Eric's World, a few other actors and all that. But yeah, Jane Eastwood was in that one, so it was kind of cool. Yeah, they went with a Canadian-based soap opera like that. I don't know who played the dad, but anyway, yeah, it was clear. And we saw that, you know, they sent him to Toronto with Tracker, his brother, because they didn't want Sean going to jail and all that. So they wanted to send him to Toronto with best intentions. Although some people say that sending him to Toronto, a place of hotbed crime and all that, was not the best idea. But Sean kind of behaved himself in a sense, except for his run with the Candy Bandits. But yeah, Sean had to stay home because of his PTSD. I mean, it's there to see that he had it and needed to do that. And then 2 years later, he went back to Degrassi to go after Emma because he wanted Emma. Although, to be fair, he should have went after Ellie. So anyway, that was huge. And then, of course, Frieza. I mean, come on. I think Frieza is the most biggest one-hit wonder around. So Don't Believe the Hype in Season 2 had an International Day for the Grade 9 students to talk about their heritage and all that. Jimmy does some black stuff, I think. Paige in her low-cut Ukrainian dress serving pierogies and all that. Raj in a kilt. I kid you not, Raj in a kilt. And yeah, he had the Chuck Norris beard that made him likable and hot to some girls, I think. Anyway, and of course, Spitter having no answers to what his heritage is. Mason, it could be Scottish or English and all that. Anyway, so Simpson in a Swedish shirt. Hazel pretending to be Jamaican, even though that Frieza, a girl in a hijab, tells her she is Somalian and all that. Hazel, of course, causes trouble with Frieza by writing her a fashion ticket and all that, and Paige is even perplexed, which is unusual. So Hazel does tell Frieza, I hope Jamaica doesn't bomb Iraq and all that. Not good words, Hazel. So, of course, Frieza does her stuff and all that. They go for lunch, and then her thing gets targeted at lunchtime. And, you know, it was huge and all that. Hazel is fingered as a suspect because of her fashion ticket and the comments about Jamaica bombing Iraq. But fortunately for Hazel, she doesn't get in trouble because the police find out that 2 grade 10 boys had done it. So basically, Hazel's free. Hazel's told that words can hurt. You gotta watch yourself. And then Raditch tells Frieza she can do her project in front of the front foyer. Everyone will have to see it. Now that's good management by Raditch. Hazel, stricken with guilt, decides to help Frieza with her project and then admits to Frieza that she is Somalian and she was jumped at her previous school. And then Frieza said, well, you learned something from those girls. And Hazel realizes how much of a dick she is. And she decides in media class to tell everyone she's Somalian. Terry does ask the question about her hijab. And Hazel said, yeah, I do it for prayers and all that. But thankfully, I'm at a situation in which I don't have to wear it full time. And she doesn't have to. Thank God for that. So anyway, yeah, Hazel does her stuff. And, you know, they actually clap. They actually give her props. And it's like, well, Hazel had nothing to worry about. Now, of course, as I said in the Sea Duel, that this episode was 15 months after 9/11. Because 9/11 was September 11, 2001, excuse me. And then the episode was mid-December 2002. So that's 15 months. And it sparked a massive conversation about hate and all that. And Kendra said something about the fact that she's Chinese, but her parents are white, and they have a good dynamic. It causes conversations to happen. Of course, we got the subplot, but I'm not talking about that subplot. I'm talking about the main plot. And all that. And the fact of the matter is that, you know, Hazel and Frieza kind of connect. But Frieza only gets one episode, and she's never mentioned or seen ever again, which is sad. I wanted Frieza to be in more episodes because, you know, Frieza is a good person and all that. And good for culture and all that. But I guess CTV must have had some issues. I don't know. But yeah, the one episode wonder, man, geez. A lot of people think Gloria for her stuff at the end of season 14 in Summer Girls was a one episode wonder. Technically, no. Because, well, they turned the 2-hour episode into four 30-minute episodes at first. But Gloria was actually in the episode Firestarter in season 14 when she was a rival cheerleader at the competition. So logically, she wasn't a one episode wonder. And of course, Chester wasn't a one episode wonder. People forget about that, but yeah. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff about one episode wonders, and 3 of them that come to mind. I just wish other people said stuff because I would have definitely said something to that effect. Anyway, I'm dropped. I'm gonna do.